You said no once, then immediately tried to prove you were still a good person. That is what people notice, not the no. The panic after it. Team chat still open. Deadline burning. One coworker asks, "Can you take this tonight?" For months, you said yes. Stayed late, fixed mistakes, covered work nobody wanted. But this time, I can't. Silence. Then, I thought we could count on you. There it is, guilt on the table. Now the room is not watching your boundary. It is watching whether you fold, you smile too fast, explain too much, act like your no needs a defense. 5 seconds ago you had a boundary. Now you're asking people to forgive you for having one. That is where respect drops, not when you refuse, when you look scared after refusing. They do not need to beat your boundary. They only need to watch you apologize for having one. Your sovereignty begins at your reaction. This is about 4 moments where people stop respecting your boundary because your reaction shows them guilt still works. And the third moment is where this stops looking like kindness and starts looking like self-betrayal. 1. The last-minute ride. Some people do not ask for help. They check if you are still the backup plan. Late night. You just got home. Shoes off. Phone lights up. "Bro, you mind driving me real quick?" Real quick. That phrase has already stolen too many nights. Different night. Same disrespect. They planned badly. Now your time is supposed to pay for it. This time you say, "I can't tonight." Then, damn, forget it. That is the test, not the ride. The silence after your no. Because now you feel guilty for not being useful. You feel like you failed the role, the reliable one, the available one. The guy people call when they do not respect their own schedule. You trained them, not on purpose, but you did. You said yes too fast, too often, too late. So your help stopped feeling like help. It became access. When you give, they barely notice. When you stop, they act robbed. You were not a friend in that moment. You were their unpaid backup plan. Now your hand goes back to the phone. You want to fix the mood. You want to make the no softer. You want to send, "Wait, maybe I can." That is the leak. You said no, then started polishing it for someone already using guilt. That is not kindness. That is fear of losing your role. And the second you reopen the answer, they see it. Your time is not protected. Your image is. Touch the image, and your schedule moves. Next time, they will text later. Expect faster, respect less. Because now they know your guilt works better than their planning. So stop performing after the refusal. Say, "I can't tonight." Then leave the phone alone. Let them be annoyed. No second text, no softener, no apology paragraph. A clean no gets weak when you keep touching it. And if one cold "forget it" makes you give up your night, they were not asking for help. They were checking ownership. They wanted to know if the old role still had you. The guy who drives, the guy who adjusts, the guy guilt can still punish. If your no dies because someone sounds annoyed, it was never a boundary. It was a request for approval. Once people learn they can move your schedule with guilt, they start wondering what else your guilt can open. First, they use your time, then they reach for your name. 2. The friend who used your network. They do not want your help. They want your name to make them look safer than they are. A friend texts, "Can you connect me with him too?" You know what that means. Your name in the message. Your trust used as their shortcut. And you have done it before. You sent the intro. You said a good word. You made them look safer than they were. You were not helping. You were letting them wear your credibility because you wanted to be a good friend. But this time, you do not trust it. Something about it feels off. So you say, "I'd rather not make that intro." Then comes the line, "I thought you supported me." That is the trap. They are not asking if you support them. They are checking if that sentence can make you hand over your reputation. And a lot of people fold right there, not because they changed their mind, because looking selfish scares them more than damaging their own name. So they explain. They offer another contact. They send a weaker name just to keep the friendship smooth. That is where the damage starts. You protected your name for 3 seconds. Then guilt made you put it back on the table. That is how your name becomes public property. An intro is not a small favor. If they show up lazy, late, pushy, or unprepared, your contact remembers one thing: you sent them. Now your word gets cheaper. People still answer you, but they trust you less. That is what soft boundaries do to your status. They let other people's mess travel under your name. And if you keep giving it away because you do not want to look disloyal, you're not helping. You're paying rent on the image of being a good friend. Say it clean. I support you. I'm not putting my name on this. Then stop talking. No backup contact. No apology. No paragraph. No trying to prove you are still loyal. If someone needs guilt to reach your reputation, they should not have access to it. Because once guilt gets your name once, they will come back for more. Next time, they will not ask cleaner. They will push earlier, harder, with more guilt. If guilt can get your name once, they will come back for more than your name. First, they used your time. Now they want your name. Next, they go after the role you still feel guilty leaving behind. Out in 3, the family emergency that wasn't yours. The family chat lights up. You already know what it is. Another fight, another mess, another, you need to fix this. Call your brother. Talk to your mom. Do something. Nobody asks if you are free. Nobody asks if you have the energy. They just throw it at you because you caught it last time. That is how they hire you without asking. You helped once. Now you are the helper. You stayed calm once. Now you are the adult. You fixed one mess. Now every mess arrives with your name on it. They did not respect your maturity. They outsourced their chaos to it. You try to stay out. I'm not getting involved. Then someone says, "So you just don't care now?" That is the hook, not the family problem. That sentence. Now the fight is not about them anymore. It is about your character. You're cold, selfish, different now. Too busy, too distant. Funny how the people making the mess are allowed to be emotional. But the second you stop cleaning it, you become the bad person. They do not need to prove it is your responsibility. They only need to make you feel ugly for refusing. They do not need your consent. They need your guilt. So you go back, you type, "That's not what I meant." Then, "I do care." Now they have you. One call becomes 2. One message becomes 20. You listen to your mother cry. You listen to your brother defend himself. You say the same calm thing again and again while your chest gets tighter. Your jaw locks, but you still make the call. That is the humiliation. You are not solving the family problem. You are protecting your image inside the family. You are scared they will rewrite you as the selfish one, the good one, the calm one, the one who always understands, the one who can be blamed into service. And they know it. Call you selfish, you explain. Call you cold, you return. Say you do not care, and you pick up a problem that was never yours. That is not responsibility. That is being managed by guilt. So say it once. I care, but I am not being the middleman. Then do not prove it. Do not call both sides. Do not translate grown adults to each other. Do not become the family's cleanup crew because they cannot control their own conflict. Let them sit in what they created. You can care without entering the mess. But if every accusation pulls you back, then the role still owns you. They do not need to win the argument. They only need the word that makes you abandon yourself. And after people get used to your help, they start expecting your silence. 4. The person who expected your silence. By the time you finally say something, they have already done it enough times to know you will swallow it. Friday night. Keys on the table. You already moved your day around. Then the text comes in. Might be late. Something came up. No real apology, just a casual update that makes your time look cheap. It worked before because you kept calling disrespect not worth the drama. You let it pass. You stayed cool. You swallowed it. So they got used to it. They come late. They cancel loose. They change plans. You eat the cost. They leave clean. Your silence protected them from feeling rude. You were not being easygoing. You were doing PR for their disrespect. This time, you send one sentence. This keeps happening. And before they even reply, you already want to take it back. Then comes the hit. Wow, I didn't know you were keeping score. There it is. Now, the issue is not their pattern. It is your memory. Your finger freezes. You start rereading your own sentence like evidence against you. You wonder if you were too much. That is where you shrink. I'm not mad. I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying, look at that. They wasted your time. You named it once. Then you started comforting them for being exposed. They crossed the line, and you apologized for pointing at it. That is the humiliation, not the late text, not the excuse. The part where you made your own disrespect easier for them to swallow. This is how shame buys silence. Call you dramatic, and you soften the point. Call you sensitive, and you make the truth smaller. Say you are keeping score, and you apologize for having a memory. Next time, they will not be more careful. They will be more offended. So say it once. I'm not keeping score. I'm naming a pattern. Then stop. No extra paragraph, no soft smile, no emotional cushion. Do not rescue them from the awkwardness they earn. They kept stepping over your time. Let them feel it. Because if you keep editing the truth to protect their face, they will keep using your silence as cover. That is the real loss. You did not just wait too long. You trained yourself to call disrespect not a big deal. If your reaction keeps hiding their disrespect for them, your silence becomes part of their plan. And once they rely on your silence, even your truth starts sounding optional. The betrayal was never the word no. It was what happened after it. They looked disappointed, and you explained. They called you selfish, and you returned. They called you dramatic, and you made the truth smaller. That is how people learn where to press. People do not only remember your no, they remember how easy it was to make you explain it. A boundary means nothing if guilt can reopen it. A truth means nothing if shame can make you shrink it. Your sovereignty begins at your reaction. If you keep making disrespect comfortable for them, do not be shocked when they bring more of it to you. And if pressure still makes you defend yourself too fast, the next video shows the 4 traps that make you look weak under it. Subscribe to Stoic Calm Code.